Welcome back, Internet, to another episode of Reddit Stories. We're back to VaxxHappened, a topic where we just point out how stupid anti-vaxxers are and call them out on them. Alright, let's get into it. Saw this on r/insaneparents. I thought it belonged here. Hard-hitting notice in my doctor's surgery. Do you say sorry? Not vaccinating your kids leaves them vulnerable to disease their whole lives. When your daughter gets rubella when pregnant, how are you going to explain that you chose to leave her at risk? What will you say when she calls you and tells you she has cervical cancer because you decided she wouldn't need the HPV vaccine? What do you tell your son when he breaks the news to you that he cannot have kids, thanks to the mumps that he got as a teenager? And what do you say when he gives influenza to his grandma? How do you explain that she won't be coming home from the hospital? Not ever. Do you tell them that you don't think the diseases were that serious? That you thought that your organic, home-cooked food was enough to protect them? Do you say sorry? Oh, oof. Yeah, like what do you say to your kids when they come home and it's like, guess what? I got the mumps. Well, they're not probably going to say it like that, but like what do you say when they actually get these diseases? Do anti-vaxxers say, oh wow, they got rubella, my daughter now has cervical cancer because she didn't get the HPV shot when I had a choice to give it to her when she was younger? Like, what do you say to that? Do anti-vaxxers just say, well, they got it because I didn't give them the proper carrots or something? Like, when they finally get these diseases and it becomes life-threatening, do people change? Or do they just say that it was something else, like make up another excuse? Have any of you heard of anyone that was an anti-vaxxer and their kid, like, died from this? Do they change their whole opinion, or do they stick to their guns? Like, if you've heard of anything like that, let me know. Within hours. Really? Healthy triplets all become autistic within hours of vaccination, once again demonstrating that vaccines cause autism. The parents, the McDowell family in Detroit, Michigan, have spoken out publicly against the horrific medical violence being committed against children every day across America through toxic vaccines. The names of their children, pictured below, are Richie, Robbie, and Claire. All three children were vaccinated on the same day, and within hours, they all became severely autistic. It's on the internet, it's gotta be true. We're living in the Facebook generation where all people want to do is read a headline, read a couple of sentences, and be like, wow, it's gotta be the truth. It's on the internet, it's gotta be accurate. So, this is the kind of perfect article for anti-vaxxers because it's short, it terrifies people, and it gets moms and dads to say, well, not my little Jimmy, I'm not going to get him through all that. But it doesn't, like, there's no evidence of this. Someone could have just made up this story. This is a perfect Facebook anti-vax article. I caught the autism just by reading this. All of this is fake. You don't need vaccines to protect yourself or your children because natural things do work. Here's how the cycle goes for the pro-vax family. Daughter is pregnant while being autistic and her son gets born with a small autism that grows by the big farm vaccines. His grandma gets infected by his autism and dies. Which serves that pro-vax right for destroying her family. Not in a million, billion, bajillion, trillion years would I have me or anyone I know and love be the autism. So, I really do hope that this is satire, because in this person's point of view, autism is a deadly disease, and people can catch it from other people, and transfer it from mother to son. I mean, it could potentially be genetic, so maybe that might potentially be kind of accurate, but you don't want your grandma catching the autism and dying. Oh, come on, baby June, I know you got the autism. Don't get close to grandma because she's already got the cankles. You don't want to give her the autism too. Conveniently forgot to get a picture of this segregation that totally happened. So, I had my peanut and had her checkup yesterday. I didn't go to the holistic doctor I'm planning on going to. I went to the pediatrician that saw her in the hospital because the holistic doctor couldn't get me in time this week, and the hospital needed to see an appointment set up for her before leaving. So, I get there, check in, and then she says, okay, you guys go into that room over there, not the regular waiting room with everyone else. It's a closed room with a door with a huge sign for everyone to see, unvaccinated kids go here. I was shocked and horrified. Everyone was staring at us like we had the plague. My kids asked why they were locking us in a room. They were embarrassed. I was so mad, I forgot to get a picture. I'm just sharing because I couldn't freaking believe it. I looked at the lady that checked us in and said, "So, you're quarantining us?" She just shrugged her shoulders like, "Meh, it's the way it is." What in the actual F nuggets? F nuggets. what the? Oh. Needless. F nuggets. Needless today, we will be going. Wait, needless today? I think she said. I think she means needless to say. Oh man, this woman. Needless today, we will be going to the holistic doctor from here out? They can go donkey nuggets themselves. Oh, why? So, the original poster said, "Oh yeah, conveniently forgot to get a picture of this," like it totally happened. So, yeah, that is kind of suspicious, but I can totally see a doctor's office doing this. Like some disgruntled doctor that's just sick of all these kids coming in unvaccinated, that he just puts them into another room, and if his superiors say, "What are you doing? You're segregating your patients," and he just says, "Well, I mean, they're unvaccinated, and we have kids come in all the time with diseases. I just want to make sure I provide the best care I can for my patients." You know, some sort of like smart-ass remark like that. I can totally see a doctor doing this, and I would love to go to that doctor's office. I would just go there with popcorn, just watching the fireworks show. Viruses don't exist. Buy my CDs to find out how. Overwhelming proof that viruses don't exist. I explain in detail on the CDs. The virus that is said to be living or killed and is said to cause disease, in fact, doesn't exist except for in the mind of the believer. Science says that everything from a cold to cancer is caused by a virus. Science says that viruses are living and dead. Science is wrong. Dr. Fauci of the National Institute of Health says that viruses that are coughed up live up for 2 hours. This is a blatant lie. I have made a series of CDs from the years 2002 through 2016 that unequivocally prove that viruses do not exist. I offer them at the rock bottom price of $5 each plus $5 shipping in the States. This info is the only info that will one day outlaw vaccines and put Plotkins and Offits in jail. Here's my list of CDs. I will give a few words describing the content and the time, so if you see a 24.39, that will give you the time of the CD. You can buy a CD player for under $20. Come on, it's a CD player. It says $20. Go to the pawn shop. CD player, why not? If you already know that germs do not cause disease, then you will definitely want the CDs on the virus lie. The first 10 will explain the virus lies. Viruses do not exist, part 1, part 2, part 3. Tom Rivers, the bad guy, miseducating the entire medical profession and the world of the living virus lie. Selling the virus that don't exist to the public, part 1 and part 2. The Salk vaccine cover-up of 1955. Centrifuge machine and the electron microscope. Without these machines, there is no vaccine. Herd immunity, virus shredding, and other myths. Life of a Virus, 2003. Absolute proof of the virus lie. So, I understand, like, bacteria and stuff killed a lot of people back in the day. But, I mean, viruses have been around since before we had the electron microscope. So, what killed people before the electron microscope? Like, did people just die from being death? Oh, I got the death thing. I got the death bacteria. I got the death. I got death touching me. It's time to go, Gladys. Death is touching me. It's like, it's just like saying that if you don't see something, it doesn't exist. Just because it can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. Oh, that almost sounded religious. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming and watching my anti-vax Reddit thing. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw, then don't get vaccinated. Wow, that was mean. Oh well. Anyway, thanks for coming, and subscribe, share with a friend, and I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, later, kids.